Hi, good afternoon. I'm Montgomery County Commissioner Judy Dodge, and here today with my fellow commissioners, Debbie Lieberman and Carolyn Rice, and our new director of the Office of CARES Act, Marvine Mitchell-Cook. So thank you all for joining us today. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to pause and reflect on the events that have unfolded across this nation since the death of George Floyd on May 25th. The Montgomery County Commissioners stand with the peaceful protesters across our community, Ohio, and our nation. The sad truth is that his appalling death is only one example of the all too common occurrences, one that has impacted our community directly. The death of black citizens at the hands of those who were sworn to protect them. We also know that the COVID-19 pandemic, which has brought us here today, has disproportionately impacted African Americans. Racism and discrimination are real. We have and we will continue to address these issues with all the tools and resources that we have available. My fellow commissioners and I are committed to working with our partners and community leaders to ensure that everyone is treated fairly and compassionately, and that our neighborhoods are safe. As our county strategic plan has laid out, we are focused on investing in historically underserved communities and ensuring education and employment opportunities for all of our citizens. That work is as important now as it has ever been, and we will strive to continue all day, every day, to work towards that goal. We invest in our citizens. Now, we are here today to talk about another very important investment to our local community. Today, we are launching a new grant program that aims to help small businesses recover from the devastating impact of the coronavirus pandemic. The program will be funded with $40 million from the federal government as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, which is also known as the CARES Act. The County Commissioners created the Office of CARES Act to manage and distribute the $200 million in funding we received from the U.S. Treasury. The Small Business CARES Grant Program will make grants of up to $10,000. Let me repeat that, up to $10,000 available to local small businesses, and is the first financial assistance program created by the Montgomery County Office of CARES Act. While this is a substantial amount of money, we know there is no shortage of need in the community right now. The pandemic inflicted swift and massive damage on our local economy, and that's why we are focusing first on providing assistance to small businesses. You know, they are the backbone of our local economy. They anchor our neighborhoods, add vibrancy and culture to our community, and provide employment opportunities for so many of our citizens. Our Small Business Grant Program is the first step in helping get people back to work and on their feet. We will be announcing additional assistance programs in the coming weeks. And now I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Debbie Lieberman to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioner Dodge. So I know we've all been doing our part to support our local economy. I've spoken with many business owners over the last few months, and we know the impact that it's had. And, you know, a lot of people, especially the smaller business, didn't get the PPP grants that so many were able to get. I know my family, we've supported as many of the restaurants as we can. Of course, I have it's like the freshman 15, the pandemic 15, because I think we ate out almost every night. But we have great restaurants. And so with all of us doing our little bit, I know we helped, but it wasn't enough. And so we are very happy today to be able to do this. We're so thankful for the sacrifices that our small businesses have made. They've done so much to slow the spread of the virus here in our county, our region, and we know how difficult it is to keep a small business running, even in the best of times. And I know several businesses that probably are not going to reopen, and that's heartbreaking because they've worked so hard. Our small businesses, their contribution to our community can't be understated either. You know, it's our small businesses that support our Little League teams and our Pee Wee football teams, and it's not necessarily the chains that do that. So, you know, small businesses love their community, and we love them. They sponsor all kinds of fundraisers. You know, they're the ones that are called, hey, can you give us a gift certificate for this auction, for that event? And so we thank them. They also hire our neighbors and our children and our friends, and they add vitality and diversity to our neighborhoods. So now it's our turn to help them. Through the Office of CARES Act, our team will be able to help those businesses who have done so much for our county. And there are some guidelines that I want to tell you about before you apply for a CARES Act grant for your small business. Number one, to be eligible for funding, you have to be in Montgomery County. You know, and I know we have a lot of businesses in our suburbs, our exurbs around us, but you have to be a business in Montgomery County, located in Montgomery County. Applicants must have fewer than 30 employees. So when we say small business grants, that's what we're talking about, small business. The gross annual revenue less than $1 million a year. Applicants will also need to demonstrate that the pandemic has affected them somehow. I mean, we can all say, yes, it's affected all of us, but has it had a negative impact on their business? And finally, these grants have to be used for utilities, rent, and other fixed costs. We estimate that there are probably 17,000 small businesses who may be eligible in our county. 17,000. So we are looking forward to, I know a lot of our team is here, you're going to hear from Marvine, but you're going to be working hard over the next few months. And so we are looking forward to seeing people apply for this. Please, please, I've been telling people for a month, it's coming, please apply, it's coming. Because these funds will do a lot of good. They're not going to solve everything, but it's sure going to be helpful. And it will go a long way to stabilize the local economy and support our long-term recovery. So we are committed to keeping small businesses healthy and strong, and this, we believe, is a great way for us to do that. And now Commissioner Rice is going to come and give us a few more words. Commissioner? Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. And I will echo many of the comments that Commissioner Dodge and Lieberman have said. As we all know, this pandemic led to the swiftest economic recession we have ever seen. While we are now on the road to recovery, we all know this is not going to be solved overnight. And I too have been talking to businesses in our county to find out how they're doing. And I can tell you that every one of them has been impacted by the pandemic in one way or another. Some businesses have reported to me that they are still shut down, or their revenues are at 10% of what they were same time last year. Other businesses had the good fortune, and I will tell you, they tell me, we're blessed. We have been able to stay open, and many of them said they were able to keep their workers working, but their sales are down because there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Another business told me that they are an outdoor business, but they can't get raw products because of the supply chain disruptions around the world. So everyone is dealing with something that is interfering with the way they normally do business. And the bottom line is that we know that people are hurting. And our goal is to get help where it's needed most as quickly as possible. I would also like to mention that the grant applications will be available until November 30th or until the money runs out. I encourage, just like Debbie and Judy have said, everyone I talk to, I've been telling them this day is coming and that they should get online and put in their application and really try to get that for them so that they can recover. I want to reassure our citizens that additional funding programs will be offered to support individuals and families. It's not just businesses, but this is the first one we're rolling out. We know that the pandemic has had an impact on people's livelihoods, and some of our citizens are truly struggling to pay their mortgage or rent. So in the coming weeks, we will be announcing housing assistance programs to help homeowners and renters. The last thing we need, and I think everyone in this room would agree, the last thing we need is a housing crisis to follow in the wake of this pandemic. So we will be prioritizing this program next. We do not want more homeless people in our community. Our team is also working on assistance programs to support our local education, agriculture, and healthcare industries. And I would like to take a moment to thank Marvine and her team for their efforts. And quite honestly, Marvine, you jumped right in, and I know you're going to provide excellent leadership. You already have. We have a lot of confidence in her that this program will be run well, and it will be as smooth as possible. But there's going to be a lot of people calling. So you can call our offices, and we can shield some of the basic questions, but if you have really specific questions, you probably need to talk to the Office of CARES Act. And now, I'll let her, she's probably got a lot of details. I'll hand it over to Marvine Mitchell-Cook, the amazing leader of the Office of CARES Act.
Thank you, Commissioners. It is an honor to be here today. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to lead this effort. I have been in public service all of my life and my career, and I feel blessed to have a chance. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. It is an honor to be here today. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to lead this effort. I have spent an entire career in public service. I feel blessed to have this chance to help those in need. Montgomery County is my home, and it's been hard to see the pandemic and how it has affected citizens, business owners, and family. In the past few months, our country and our world has experienced a crisis like no other. It has affected every aspect of our daily lives and pushed people to the brink. It is important to remember that we are not alone. Today, we launch our first financial assistance program with the purpose to help small businesses. Small businesses are the heart of the community, and we need them now more than ever. As the commissioners outlined earlier, we have set aside $40 million in CARES Act funding for small businesses, and the grants will go up to $10,000 apiece. I want to encourage small business owners to visit mcohiocares.org to review eligibility criteria and start your online application. But please note, in doing the online application, you have to upload your documents as well. The CARES Act grant has a three-phase approach. The first phase is the pre-award phase, which consists of marketing and media campaign that was led by our communications team. A community outreach effort led by the Office of the CARES Act. We have coordinators going door to door, reaching out to businesses and giving them information about the grant. The next and most crucial phase is the technical assistance phase. This assistance will ensure small businesses will be implemented into the right areas to help them in need. We have a two-pronged approach, which is virtual and on-site applications. If you would like to schedule an appointment, please call the Office of CARES Act at 937-224-FUND, FUND, or 937-224-3863. Please note all on-site appointments will be held in our office located at the Business Solutions Center, 1435 Cincinnati Street, Dayton, Ohio 45417. Also, the Office of CARES Act has partnered with the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce Minority Business Partnerships to ensure we reach all small businesses within the county. This is not limited to, but will include diverse populations, women, minority, veterans, and low to moderate income communities in need of technical assistance. Lastly, once this application is submitted, it will go through a 3-tier approval process, consisting of a reviewer, compliance review, and final approval. This will alleviate any bias, conflict of interest, and it will strengthen our internal controls. Phase 2 is the award phase, which consists of preparation of the grant award. The applicant can either accept or decline the award via the grant agreement. If accepted, a check will be dispersed during the same week. Phase 3 and the final phase is the post-award, which consists of compliance and follow-up. The compliance team will conduct random office visits to all the businesses to make sure they are in eligibility requirements. And they will also do an internal audit on the Office of CARES Act to provide internal operations guidance. Next, and what's most important throughout this whole process, is the technical assistance will be available for the grant closure report. This is auditing report that will have expenditures and receipts that are needed in order for us to provide information to the U.S. Treasury. Finally, our wraparound services will be provided to all small businesses to ensure sustainability. It is our intent to partner with Montgomery County Workforce Development, Economic Development, the Dayton Chamber, and other partners. This will help us to align businesses with additional employer services at no cost. Again, this is the first of several financial assistance programs we're creating again in Montgomery County. You can sign up for email alerts about any of our assistance programs at mcohiocares.org. Finally, I would like to thank my team, as well as our Information Technology Department led by Director Lieutenant Youngblood, who is here. All of you have put in extra hours, your commitment and time. You solved technical problems and found creative solutions and put this in the right path. I cannot ask for a more dedicated and talented group of professionals. Thank you again for your support, and I now will turn it over to Michael Colbert, County Administrator.
Thank you. This is a question and answer portion of our press conference today. Do you have any questions either for myself or for Director Mitchell Cook as it relates to CARES Act?
Did I hear correctly that the county has received $200 million total in CARES Act funding?
The $200 million is an allocation that we have. We've received to date about $92.5 million, almost $93 million that's actually in the bank. We're hopeful that we can continue down the path and utilize all of these dollars, but right now we're on track with a plan to move the first $92 million out into the public in some way.
So is there a time limit on spending the total allocation of $200 million?
All of the CARES Act dollars as of now, based on the existing legislation, will expire at the end of this year, 12/31 of 2020.
So if I understand you correctly, you have to allocate all of that money by New Year's Eve.
It's actually even worse. We actually have to have it spent, and we have to have it spent before 12/31. Okay. So it's not just encumbered or in an allocation form. So it's quite the task.
This is an impossible question to answer, but how are you going to do that? I mean, it's housing, individual assistance, the business assistance.
Well, the first thing we're doing, that's why we created the Office of CARES Act, so we can move very quickly. We also have a great deal of audit exposure, so we have to move carefully. As you heard Director Mitchell Cook talk about the parameters in place. And then the next phase, we have to deploy very quickly. So we have a series of online processes. Technology is going to be very helpful. Our director of IT is here along with her team. They've been very helpful. And the other part will be to move into the community and find out what the needs are. We have another set of people that are doing that. So we believe that we'll move carefully and very quickly to deploy as we need.
Can you talk about the importance of small businesses to our region?
That's a great question. Small businesses are the core. They are really what gets you through. When you look at the triangle of economic development, your small business community, they're there, as Commissioner Lieberman mentioned, they're there to support the community also in little leagues, in baseball and soccer, and they're a fabric of the community. So the first thing we wanted to do is shore them up so that we could keep our economy moving, and to also keep individuals working, create jobs, and to have more jobs for them to come back to post-COVID. The next piece, as Commissioner Rice talked about, was making sure people can be sustained in their homes. So we want to keep people in their houses through rental assistance, through utility assistance, through mortgage assistance. And then, as Commissioner Dodge mentioned, the overarching goal is to find out where the needs in the community are, whether it's educational Wi-Fi, whether it's agriculture, or whether we need to help people in certain other areas. We want to make sure that the community has the resources that they need.
Will the county be able to give assistance for those on crisis mode who are on the fence about giving up completely?
That is part of it. So part of it is we are seeing right now an uptick in some of our social services where we're continuing to help people, whether it's I need health care through Medicaid, or I need assistance through food assistance. We're seeing an uptick in those cases. The other side of this is to help, again, as I talked about, rental assistance, mortgage assistance. A big part of this is utility. Our office, our utilities, water, sewer, Montgomery County Environmental Services, we are not doing any shutoffs during this period. That is helping people get through this crisis.
Also, if I may, words of encouragement again for those individuals, both business and individual renters, words of encouragement for them not to give up.
Don't give up. Your county commissioners, your county leadership team is here to help you. We have CARES Act dollars. Apply. If you find that there's roadblocks in the process, because just like every other process, something's not going to work, don't give up. Contact our team. Marvin has put out a series of contact numbers. If you find that the online doesn't work, or one day we're backed up because we've got a volume, please contact us, and we're here to help you. We will send some of our people out to help you if we have to.
Application process is online starting today?
Today, starting today.
Okay. From phase 1 to phase 2, what type of time frame are we talking to?
Marvin?
I would say a 2-week cycle period.
So by the time the application, 2 weeks later, someone may be able to receive a check.
Yes, but they have to have a complete application. If it's incomplete, it's going to take a little longer.
Can we get that website one more time? I don't think you can say it enough.
I know I can't. mcohiocares.org.
And that website is 24/7?
Yes, it is. Okay.
I give the interpreter's name.
Thank you.